Let's rock. Buddy! Welcome to Drama Friday! How is everybody? Welcome, sir.
That's it now. I'm done, mate.
Thanks for joining us.
I'll see you later.
You apparently caused an incident at Alton Towers which involved the loss of a leg. Do you care to explain yourself?
Don't fuck with me.
Don't fuck with me, because people are going to lose some limbs up in this shit. You know what I'm saying? Limbs up in this shit. Ah, yes. Although there is a web sheezy tomorrow, Ghosty's free and clear right now.
Holiday.
So as a nice week holidays, how'd you feel? Refreshed?
Yes.
Did you have cucumbers over your eyes? We've both had holidays this week, because you, of course, looked after my son.
I did.
For my anniversary.
I did.
And I went and I lay on something called a hotbed. Do you know this?
No. Is it like a Dutch oven?
No. It's a bed made of stones, which is heated, and then you lie on it.
Why?
I don't know. And I said to her, I don't understand why we're here. And after 10 minutes, she revealed, in fact, that she was so pregnant that she couldn't actually get off it and was pretending to like it. Extraordinary.
Why don't you lie on the bonnet of your car in the summer?
Extraordinary. I don't know what the fuck a hotbed's for. There was a steam room, though, to which I enjoyed. Getting moist with all the ladies. I did, in fact, do the pose, had my arm back, leg up, did the full beans.
Should have said, there's a seat here, ladies, and point to your Johnson.
No, they were old ladies, but still. Who am I to deny? I don't judge.
Exactly.
Somebody's got to do it. Might as well be me. Welcome to Drama Friday as we conclude the second stream week. We did some shit this week. Did you see my buddy video?
I did see the
buddy video.
Yes, I did.
That fucked me right up. That was, you know what time that was? 10 to 8 in the morning that happened. 7:50 in the morning that went down. 7:50 in the morning I got Demon Bunny raped. You know how many bunnies are in that game up until that point who do nothing?
I played it.
You've played it?
Yes.
Loads of bunnies.
I know.
And then did that happen to you?
Serves you right, my friend.
Did you have the Demon Bunnies?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Did it freak
I
you
didn't
out?
stream it, but I was quite surprised.
Yeah, I was taken aback. I also killed way too many dogs. Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. You didn't play the new order, though, I don't think.
I didn't play any of the new Wolfensteins.
You should.
Well, I might.
You should.
I might.
And we also played some Metal Gear Revengeance, mate. Nano Machine's son.
Nice.
Yes, indeed. Which
No.
I think I sold more copies of Metal Gear Rising this week than they have done in about a year. Everybody who watched that stream wanted to buy
there
that
was a
game.
part on that game where you died in about 6 seconds and you let Emma have a go, and regardless of her context, she survived a lot longer than you did.
To be fair, yes, that did happen, but to be fair, the attacks that can kill you do come in a random order.
I thought it might be.
It also reminded me that we have bred these guys here, the most sarcastic community on Twitch. They're not evil, they're not sinister, they're not malicious, for the most part. Sarcastic, though.
Oh, yeah.
Thumbs fresh.
Nice.
Thumbs fresh. To the point that I did struggle on that boss, because I got there with 0 health packs, which was a fucking nightmare for the last boss. And they were all like, why don't you try hitting it? The advice was flowing. The advice was flowing. No. And of course, we played Tales from the Borderlands.
How is that?
Really funny.
Is it?
It's not evil. You can't be Joffrey Clementine, which I think most of the stream appreciated. You can't be super sinister, but it is hilarious. And Scooter's in it. And you catch a ride.
Well played.
Yeah, and
nice.
It features the MVP Loaderbot. To which you might notice some names. So a lot of people made new characters in tribute to Loaderbot, such as I believe the latest one was Sticky Creamy Loaderbot. Something along those lines. But that's not why you're here today, because it's drama time. It's Friday, it's drama time. So Ghosty can read the titles for me. What's this one called, Ghosty?
This one's called Satellite Internet and the Horse Tickler.
I'm not a horse, but I appreciate it. How I ghosted a casual guild. In tribute to you, mate, because I knew you was coming, you know what I mean? I found a good ghosting story.
And I appreciate that.
And don't heal with a healing officer who's also your manager. Yeah? Advice, people. But let's ghost the guild! Let's ghost the guild.
Let's ghost the guild.
Let's ghost the guild. Let's ghost the guild.
I'd like you pick the names.
You want me to pick? Are you saving yourself for tomorrow?
Indeed.
You saving yourself. So we need a guild leader, we need a rogue.
Who are you going to go with?
Everybody in this appears to be named after the Doug Funny Show. Doug. What was the name of his love interest?
Patty Mayonnaise.
Patty
mate.
Mayonnaise.
Are you kidding me? What's his name of his best friend?
Skeeter.
What's the name of his arch nemesis?
Oh, I can picture his name.
Roger. What's the name of his dog?
I don't know.
What's the name of the superhero that he plays?
I don't know.
The first answer was Pork Chop, then it was Quail Man.
I even knew that because that's one of the similar names to what's in
Why?
the story. Look, it's there. That's why I even referenced Doug. The Beats. The Beats.
The Beats.
The
Well
Beats.
done. Are you Killer Tofu?
Killer tofu.
Killer Tofu.
Killer tofu. Right, LeBron, you're in.
LeBron James.
Pandora, you're in. Kobe.
Kobe.
Quail Boy, well said. Merlot, you're in for a bit of class.
Nice wine.
A bit of class. A bit of ladylike, you know what I mean? Can't spell, but that's alright. A Merlot. And, Sankster. Oh, yeah. Sankaman, you dead?
Yeah, dead. What's going on with the green screen?
Flickering like I've never seen before. Let me give it some of this and a little tweak of that. And one of those, and that should be good.
Well done.
All
No,
right.
It's not. It's okay. The smokes. It's gone back to as it was. Now it's back again. Keeps flickering. I'm not saying that I don't enjoy it. It's hilarious.
Okay. I'll give it one little tweak before we start so it doesn't annoy everybody throughout said stream. Hopefully, that's creamy. Yeah? And your hat is in shot, and that's fantastic.
Wow, well.
Now, a preface. And I love these prefaces. Before I start, I would like to explain that I know this behaviour was not okay. And despite everything that I did, I have learnt my lesson, and I'm not a bad person, parentheses. I don't think, so you're not sure. Because you did do these things, didn't you? Yes, you did. So what did you do? So upon the drop of Water to Draenor, I decided that I wanted to try and get into some form of hardcore raiding. I've been playing since Turbasur, but never found myself in any kind of raiding scene. Pugger. Mother Pugger.
Bottom feeder.
Bottom bitch.
Loser.
Basic
No,
bitch.
bottom bitch, mate, is the good bitch. Basic bitch is the shit bitch.
Basic bitch then.
Basic bitch, yeah.
Yeah. I had a taste of it in Mop, and I entered WOD hungry for more. However, since I had taken a break from the game, and my guild had disbanded, I had exactly 0 friends and 0 support. So as I was leveling, I mulled it through my brain how I could achieve greatness. I needed gear as fast as I could, and then to get into a good guild. This time things would be different than how I'd played it in the past. This time, I would be heroic geared and pro. Heroic.
Pro. Yeah.
Heroic.
Loser.
Now, I don't want to tell you the class I was playing because I think it gets far too much shit as it is, but let's just say it was melee, and it stabs people in the back. And I like my loot. Yeah. Can we guess? I hatched a plan. A little bloody plan. So in hindsight, it was not the nicest of plans, but I figured, fuck it. It's always the way. This is mean.
That's like one of those escalate quickly moments.
Yeah, this is going to be really mean, but fuck it.
But fuck it.
But my plan was basically to join a casual raiding guild, be better than them, friendly, get all the gear, and then fuck them off. That's the actual plan. I'm gonna exploit your niceties, and then stab your ass. I planned to guild hop until I found something worthy of my skill. I love that. No ego. Again, in hindsight, it did sound a little douchey.
And also the fact that he's going to really shit guilds to make them look bad. He's starting off shit.
I feel like it's a thing, though, that bad guilds want to keep good players, and so they shower them in not urine, but champagne. To get them to stay, don't you?
I think this chap is verbally punching above his weight.
Maybe, but he says he's got the skills.
Okay.
A few weeks after getting 100, I found myself with pretty good gear, pulling pretty good deeps. I got myself into a lot of pugs without gear by tricking dumb shit gear players by saying that I used to be in method, without actually providing evidence. I'd also scammed people from BOEs, which is a different story. It's about this time that I found a guild message post on the forums. It was something along these lines. Social guild recruiting. We're a social guild that wants to have a nice balance between fun and progression. We really believe the two can go hand in hand. We run democratically and rotate GMs accordingly. Tempting offer?
Well, shit.
Worst guild. Fuck
Wow.
that one. But it comes across so friendly. Yes.
Can you imagine that? They go rotating to you being the GM, right? Okay, pass it on. It's like, no.
No. Oh, we vote it in every week. It's really good. We get to vote a new GM, and that really gets things done. It really does. It does. I knew instantly that these were going to be my target. I made a little app that, by the way, had absolutely no questions about anything game related. And soon found myself with an in-game whisper from one of the officers named Sangster, a druid healer. Sangster was an English northerner fellow who was very friendly and nice to be around. I really feel sorry for this guild. Everything about them so far is really nice. We got chatting, and I quickly started asking questions about their raiding process. He said the most important goal of raiding was fun.
No.
Shit!
No.
Oh my god, because there's nothing more fun than wiping.
Absolutely.
Wiping is the best fun. Bunch of sad sack,
Losers.
hairy, bald munchers. Quite frankly, I didn't give a flying fuck about fun, so I steered the conversation to loot. That's great. Your looting system, then. Is it DKP or what is it? Strangely, instead they use a master looting system, which was ideal for my plan. After running a dungeon with Sangster and the guild master, LeBron
James.
they saw my sick dungeon deeps. Combat on a rogue in a dungeon. You're amazing. I know. I did press killing spree with Blade Flurry on. So, I guess you could say I'm pretty awesome. I was instantly... That was your application process. I was invited to the guild.
Wait, can anyone link the meters on this trash?
Yeah. I don't use add-ons because it slows my progress. Can anyone link it? What a test to join a guild. 5-man dungeon. Alright, it's your day.
He's good.
Did you see how well he did in Skyreach? So good. Sangster even made the mistake of telling me that my DPS would easily be the best in the guild. The way you handled that trash pack.
Wow.
Apparently DPS and niceness equals a guild spot and an invite to every raid after. There were 2 guild rules, Ghosty.
Wear the tabard at all times.
All times!
All times. And respect the democratic system.
Obama.
For life.
Obama and tabards. That's all we need. 5-man dungeon test, wear the tabard, and they check. You don't want me armoring your ass and seeing the wrong tabard. That would fuck your... Hearthstone's getting transmog.
Mate, don't... We'll go in
Tomorrow.
later.
Tomorrow, yeah?
Don't even.
Tomorrow, yeah? But what if you were forced to wear the guild tabard?
You've just jiggled my beans now. That's
I've rustled
me.
your jiggers.
Yes, I don't like it. Just story it. Divert it.
But this fucks your transmog up, right? You got to wear their tabard at all times. And it's blue. And you're a DK.
When you get like a really good tabard. Hey, you're not equipping the guild tabard. I know.
You're getting kicked. Really? Did you see my Skyreach DPS?
Best deeps.
Did you see me
Did
Skyreach?
you see that Blade Flurry?
The first few raids in High Mall Normal, I decided to take it slow before trying to get additional pieces of gear. Just wet the hole.
Yep, exactly.
Wet the hole. I'm going to go down on you first. But be sure, I'm going to finish fast. I made sure that I was well liked in the guild, cracking jokes on bosses and never getting upset on wipes. However, we were spending 2 raid nights on Normal Butcher. He's a tough one, that Normal Butcher. He attacks you.
And that's it.
Yeah, but he does do that though.
But he moves like once every minute.
Oh yeah. But then he's got that frenzy though.
Oh no.
Normal mode frenzy. Shit, dude. My DPS compared to these guys was fucking sky high. And I even got lucky on some drops. It wasn't until the 4th raid night that I decided, you said you were going to take it slow, your 4th raid night. That is taking it slow, don't you think? That's at least 30 seconds.
Imagine it like dating though. Imagine it like dating.
It's not even starters.
Well, 4th, is he saying that he's going to do something on the 4th raid
He
night?
did do something
4th
on the 4th
date, that's
It's not the
acceptable.
4th date.
It's acceptable.
It's the 4th raid night is not taking it slow. That's the same week. Problems started when another rogue joined the guild. I imagine he was all smiles until that name arrived.
Exactly. Big man on campus, right? And he's like, did make shift click the name though, didn't he?
And you are.
Yeah. No longer a bottom bitch, me.
His name was Pandora. He was younger than me, and his gear was dog shit. This line though, everything about him sickened me. You sickened me.
Is that Dennis?
His bad skills, his annoying Dutch voice on Van from Holland. Cloak. Fucking hell. And the fact that he wanted to obtain all the loot I had worked so hard for in 4 raid nights. I've worked my ass off. I had very little competition on loot before he came along and hoped that it would stay that way. No. It was a fresh clear of Heimol, and I found myself fresh clear of Heimol that hasn't killed Butcher. Just Kargath then. It's a... And I found myself once again with higher DPS than everyone else. In fact, my deeps were so good that others would listen to me in the raid for fear of losing me. What does that even mean? He knows what he's talking about. Look at the DPS meter.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Give him some gold.
Apparently in this guild, high DPS made you as important as tanks and healers. I knew by now that all the other DPS was so fucking bad that if they lost me, they would have very little chance at any progression. And besides, I was a nice guy. Everybody loved me. We finally downed the Butcher. Yes. For the second time after a few tries, and there was the loot table, was a shiny Butcher's Bloody Cleaver. Butcher's Bloody Cleaver? Isn't that a strength thing?
I don't know, mate.
I don't remember ever wanting a weapon off the Butcher.
Neither do I. That's what I'm thinking.
The Blade Fist?
And the Twin Ogren thing.
Yeah. What the fuck is a Butcher's Bloody Cleaver? That's a strength weapon, I'm sure of it. Retard. You just went full...
Herpa-derp
You just went full derp. I think. It's a strength one-hander. It totally is. Now, I was combat spec'd. I still had an Elephant main hand, so that looked absolutely perfect for me. Alright. Unfortunately, Pandora wants it too. Both rogues want the strength sword.
Really gives you a feel for the level of build, right? So these skills you talk about...
So when you say skill... Okay. So both rogues need the sword. No biggie. I was sure my luck would pay off. Unfortunately for me, though, I rolled a 3. Pandora rolled a 40. This just would not do. Well, this is unacceptable, isn't it? I wanted that axe. No, needed that axe. So I made sure that before I rolled, that I whispered LeBron and told him that I was going to leave the guild if the other rogue got the axe.
What a cunt.
Slash roll. 3. Deal with it, LeBron. That's a fucking douchey thing to do. I would have just kicked you so quickly.
I would have, yeah.
Oh
absolutely.
my god. You're going to leave the guild if you don't get the strength axe. Just so we're clear. Rogue.
That would be it. That would be the perfect comeback, just so we're clear. Rogue.
Just to make sure what's going on. LeBron processed it at first, but I linked in my DPS in slash whisper.
Oh my god. This guy is so desperate. It's sick.
Allow me to link you recount. Number 1.
Loser.
And LeBron gave me the axe. I can't get in that mindset of the guys in those guilds. I can't do it.
I'd love to be the guy who got the whisper, though.
Guys.
I'd love to be the guy that got the whisper.
You would never get that whisper, though. I would never get that whisper. Ever. Nobody here would get that whisper. But he got that whisper. LeBron got it. Of course, Pandora was a little angry, but Pandora explained that I was an older member of the guild by 4 days, and therefore entitled to loot. It was at this point that I knew I had the guild wrapped around my little finger. The strangest thing about this is Pandora didn't even call me out my bullshit. He just bowed down to the deeps.
An LFR weapon equipped deeps. Ooh.
You were combat on the Butcher?
Yeah, I'm thinking that as well.
I'm just going to
was
tear
thinking
you
a bit
apart,
of that.
right? Because you say you've matured now, but this was Warlords of Draenor. It wasn't that long ago. Alright, this is High Mall. You were combat on the Butcher,
Let's
though?
take a smug sip.
Combat on the Butcher, eh?
Mmm.
Now, I don't want to toot my own trumpet, but I'm going to call you Scrub-a-dub-dib-dub.
You shit.
I don't think a strength axe is your biggest problem, sir. My second move was that I made was encouraging the guild to switch to DKP. I planted the seed by stating that the current loot system wasn't really working out, and that we needed to adopt a fairer, more hardcore way of distributing pieces. If we're going to be taken seriously, we need DKP, because that's what hardcore people do.
No, he's saying he doesn't want DKP. Guild
Oh, no, he
switch
does.
to a DKP. Okay, right.
He does want DKP because it's more hardcore. Yeah? And everybody wants to be hardcore. That's
Indeed.
why they play
No,
Wildstar.
absolutely.
Free to play.
Never forget.
I constantly volunteered to be the person in charge of the DKP system because I would be fair and trustworthy.
And run spec
I'll
and
tell you
run gear.
what we need is DKP, and I will be in charge of it. As a good faith, I'm going to give myself the most. Eventually, I got what I wanted, and even got democratically promoted to officer. I had risen so quickly, and soon I found myself able to play with the DKP system, that I always had enough points to get anything that I wanted. Life was great for this High Mall normal gear. We're on Brackenspore now.
Are we though?
Well, Butcher's down, so progress.
Okay.
Sailing. I was basically just harvesting gear off them two bosses. Soon it would be time to move on up. However, things changed upon the arrival of yet another rogue. Merlot.
The fine wine
I feel
of
like he
rogues.
enters with a cigar, doesn't he? The old
And a
Merlot.
brandy.
As soon as I saw him online, I found my blood boiling. I was under the impression that me and Pandora had come to an agreement that we didn't need more rogues. At the time, there was one rogue in the guild, and it was since Pandora left after never getting gear due to my DKP manipulation. The other rogue had to leave the guild. LeBron actually put his foot down for once, saying that they would use him on Thursdays when I was away. You don't even raid all the raid days. You just, it still has the most DKP. Needless to say, I was fucking furious. But I bit my cheek and giggled it off.
Shouldn't he bite his tongue and not his cheek? Why would you bite your cheek and not
Because
your
you're chewing
tongue?
ecstasy at the same time.
Gear.
I jokingly said, I hope he doesn't get any of my gear. He found it hilarious, did LeBron. Completely unknowing that I was already plotting some way to get that fucking idiot to hand the guild over to me. However, something strange happened. People seemed to really like Merlot. Not only was he a good player, but he had really good DPS. He was also a lot more charismatic and funnier than I was.
Ha! But the thing is, he set a really low bar.
He did set a low bar.
He doesn't
to be
sound
fair.
charismatic or fun. He sounds like a cop.
Yeah, I don't know what he did that was charismatic, but we've yet to see evidence.
I know, absolutely. Or skills.
Everybody fell under the spell of Merlot. He took an instant dislike to me. The kind of dislike that you can tell is there despite him never actually saying it.
Sounds like he's a needy bitch now,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
The feeling was a mutual mind. I hated Merlot. I felt a bit like Woody in Toy Story when Buzz replaces him. The last loot competition I had wasn't too hard for me to get rid of since Pandora was dumbfuck. But Merlot began to realise my little DKP trick I had going on and publicly called me out on it.
Boom.
Busted. Pandora sided with Merlot. And soon I found myself being scolded. LeBron told me that I had one last chance to make sure I did the DKP system well, or I would be replaced. I could see what Merlot was doing. He wanted control of the system so that he could suck the gear out of this poor, unknowing social raiding guild. I feel like these people exist. Like all over the place, like infiltrating and molesting social raiding guilds with their tabards.
But if you're stupid enough to allow it, then it's your own fault.
I guess.
If I was in a social, the guilds that I made were social guilds. But the second that someone even like blips on the radar that's going to be one of these people, they are out so fast.
Are they on the list? I call it going on the list in any Telltale game. One mistake, you're on the list. The first opportunity I have to sacrifice you to the heavens,
You're going.
I will take it. Although once in Walking Dead 2, I played a little game where I delayed one and got a twofer.
Nice.
Dumped both of them in one go.
Went for the long game, mate.
Went for the long game. It was nice. I was the poison. I become a little fond of this guild. I was with them and there was no way I was letting Merlot ruin what I had created. He had outrogued me for sure. It was a good move. After this, I tried to play dumb and be friends with Merlot. Oh, he's trying to cuddle in. Cuddling up. After complimenting him on his cool transmog. Is this your guild?
That's the way for me, though.
Hey.
That'd get me.
Looking smooth.
I know, right?
Looking delicious. And his knowledge of the Star Wars universe.
This is my guild.
You not only look delicious, but your knowledge of the Star Wars universe is legendary.
Not only are you very attractive, do you like Star Wars? Well, yes.
Next few weeks I stayed quiet, hatching a plan to get rid of that little snake. Or at the very least, make him bow down to my will. I was still an officer. I had some leverage. First I had a little chat with him. I put all of my cards out. I said, "Look," I whispered him in game. "I know what you're doing in this guild, and I know what you want to suck the loot out of them." I have no idea what you're talking about," said Merlot.
Is this guy Zorro?
He's so fucking smooth. It's outrageous. With his cigar. And his glass of Merlot.
It's not a cigar, it's one of them cigarettes on a stick.
And white gloves.
And a little moustache.
"It's okay," I replied. "I want to take the loot too. I think there's enough loot here for both of us. If we work as a team, we can get all the loot." After a bit of back and forth, I managed to rile him and get him to show all of his cards to me. Eventually he said, "I don't think you understand. I am going to win this war. I am going to kick you out of this guild, and then we won't have to divide any loot." This confirmed to me my suspicions of what he was doing. I took a screenshot of the conversation, boom, to save for later, as much as I wanted to show this to LeBron straight away. I decided that it was better to play it safe and slow roll the situation. This is so much fucking effort for normal Highmall loot. So much effort. Luckily for me, Merlot never thought of showing LeBron my own messages of treachery. The next few weeks I opened up my old account and whispered LeBron on the characters that he didn't know were mine. On these characters I posed as previous guildies of Merlot, stating that he was a ninja and a loot whore. I also paid a GM that I knew considerable amount of swag gold to report to Sangster that Merlot had stolen everything from their guild bank. Now I knew that LeBron was very protective of his tens of thousands of gold in the guild bank. Tens of thousands of gold.
Wow, that's
almost 50,000 gold.
That's almost a daily.
I had to do my garrison all week for this. He didn't want those golds going anywhere.
No.
Eventually, one night after the raid, LeBron called an officer meeting. Why is that in quotation marks?
I don't know.
We're calling it an officer meeting.
I don't understand the implications of the bunny fingers.
To discuss what was going on with Merlot. LeBron wanted to know our opinions on Merlot, as well as what we had heard about his previous behaviour. He wanted us to vote on whether or not we thought that Merlot was trustworthy enough to be promoted to officer. There was no fucking way that was going to happen. As it started, I acted a little embarrassed and shy, withdrawn about my opinion. "Well, I didn't want to tell you this," I said. "But Merlot actually said something to me a while back that made me doubt how nice of a person he is." I thought he was joking, of course, but in light of this new information, I'm thinking otherwise. I linked the screenshot. They were all horrified because the picture seemed very authentic. What reason would I have to lie? I'd been there for a while. Merlot was obviously not going to become an officer and instead went to him being kicked instead. My plan was working. But one thing that I couldn't predict was what happened next. Oh.
Does someone stab him in the neck for being a twat? That's where I'd like it to go.
LeBron refused to kick and said that they liked him too much as a friend to do it. Sangster and the other officers began to argue with him, and all of a sudden all three of us democratically voted that LeBron should no longer be the GM. Cold blood! cold-blooded. It was cold-blooded. Because LeBron was a nice person and respected the system more than the guild, he stepped down and handed over the GM spot to myself. Sanchez and the other officers were very happy with this decision. LeBron break down as GM was something I couldn't have possibly anticipated on that night. He said he trusted the other officers and that he was content to be a member. I guess LeBron wasn't really cut out for leading a guild. So I kicked Mullo. Thank you. Thank you. And the guild continued as normal for the next few weeks. I whispered Mullo with a little bye-bye and then slapped his ass on ignore. I was now glorious leader. I had all the power I wanted. It was free to take all the loot I could in raids.
Of 3 bosses.
When I was geared to the teeth in high more normal. One morning, hey, that's a lot of garrison caches.
Wow.
One morning I woke up early, cleared out the guild bank, disbanded the guild, and server transferred.
That's not a lot of gear, though.
I took that tens of thousands of gold, and disbanded the guild. To conclude, though, I feel really bad about it now. And it surprised me how guilty I was after I'd done this. I got a Facebook message off LeBron, the good book, asking me what the fuck was going on. I told him I was sorry. Sorry, not sorry. That it was a terrible situation and that my little brother had taken my account and done all of it. I like to say I think when one plays a rogue, you get caught up in the legend of the class. You want to be one of those who came before you and one of those you're in direct competition with. I got caught up in the rogue race with no regard for anyone else's feelings. No, you didn't. You were just a twat.
All the twat.
Nothing to do with being a rogue.
Is this one
just a twat.
But that's not ghosting a guild. That's being a cunt. That's all that is. That's
Whoa.
not what ghosting is.
Difference?
There's a difference when
What's the difference?
It's justified when it's ghosting.
It's justified.
Look at it like this.
This wasn't justified.
It's usually in context of retaliation. There's motive to a
There's
ghosting.
no vengeance
Not just
here.
being a complete toolbox extraordinaire. You ghosted a guild for 3 bosses worth of high mall loot that had tens of thousands of gold. Oh no!
Thousands of gold.
And then you're
thousands.
such a pussy, you server transferred. You ran with your massive gaping vagina between your legs to another server.
Whistling
God.
all the way.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. Frothing.
Throbbing.
What a loser.
Let's tickle some horses.
God, I'm down for horse tickling.
You want some
I need to pick me up.
Let's have Rasty,
Oh wait, is he the horse?
if you want.
He should be. He's got a
Gen Z.
tremendous dick.
Oh, it's a two-man job.
It's a Snapchat, but
It's a Snapchat.
it's worth it.
It's a zoom out though.
Needed a fisheye lens.
Banana required. Right, the horse tickler. Hello, preacher of the audience. My story begins in the days of dial-up interwebs. Never forget.
Never forget, mate. Alien Predator 1.
Ba-dum,
Get off
ba-dum,
the internet, I need the phone! You'll never forget that.
ba-dum, ba-dum.
Like a snake.
That noise. I can never forget, and I know we said it before, but being in IT at school, and only the head of IT had a modem, so our PCs didn't have internet access, and just suddenly halfway through the class you did ba-dum, as you was connected to the internet.
No, you know the worst thing is when you set your computer to dial the internet and then you hear through your modem someone going, hello? Hello?
Who's
Someone,
that?
put the phone down, you dick!
Downloading my song off Napster.
Yeah!
So it's gonna be
You said I can
tomorrow.
have it for an hour, it's only a 3 meg song.
It'll be finished in the morning.
Yeah.
Hello, preacher of the audience. My story begins at the day of dial-up. I was a huge fan of Team Blizzard, playing StarCraft, Diablo, and Warcraft 3 nearly every day since as far back as I could remember. I had my eyes set on the world of Warcraft since I first heard about it. The trouble was all my friends who were playing at the time had a new thing called cable internet.
I'm pretty sure cable internet, came out a lot long before this.
Yeah, but he just doesn't have it.
Loser.
Team America, mate. Very bad interwebs. 10 years
How
ago.
do you even live?
It's still 10 years ago.
Did they discover the wheel recently?
They fixed FIFA. Hail soccer.
Who fucking
I
cares?
didn't give a shit.
Give me another 40 quid, I'll give you the same game with people in different teams. Fuck FIFA. That's for Saturday. Sorry, you're taking me off topic. Move on.
I was so jelly of them and their cable internet, but where I lived in the country, it was impossible to get such a connection. I was forced to look to other means. I then read about satellite internet. I've never heard of this myself. Because our country is
Sounds
so
like
fucking
something
smart.
very military.
It sounds like it involves a large black case that you have to...
No, one of
open
them little metal suitcases that's got a little satellite that comes out the top and goes like that.
like in Congo, mate.
Yeah, but you know when you open it and the fan of the satellite goes.
Oh, and then it turns.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it. A new form of interwebs that would give me speeds unprecedented. I was so excited hearing about it, I begged my parents to get it installed. Months later, months went by and I had finally convinced them to get satellite interwebs. And this is when I learned about a word called latency.
Now this latency.
Cable latency is actually quite nice. Sending the signal directly to your house through a cable in the ground. Satellite, however, was not like this. You can imagine sending a signal into space and then back again could cause some slowdown. And I believe it would.
Yeah.
Attack. Fire. In WoW, I had 6-second latency. I remember trying to attack with my newly created undead priest and waiting.
Damn, we're
And waiting. Oftentimes I would die before my first spell had got on. Once the screen caught up, I would fall to my doom. Come here, spider. And I'm dead. Oh, God damn it. It was the single most frustrating thing ever. I had made a huge mistake. Can you imagine going to your parents after months of waiting, months of complaining? This internet is bad. What? We don't even use that.
What's the internet?
We
In
take
the
the
house.
Now get back in there and play your jug. I couldn't play Counter-Strike, Diablo 2 or StarCraft anymore with my new and improved interwebs. I had to think of something because this amazing game had come out and all my friends were talking about it and I couldn't even play it. At about this time, my granddad died.
Jesus Christ. Bad internet and a dead relative?
Satellite internet and a dead grandfather.
Bad news week.
And left my grandmother all alone. My grandmother was, and still is to this day,
I've just read the next line.
a complete cunt.
However,
But Grammy has cable internet. Yeah!
my granddad's dead. This is my opportunity to strike.
But she's got cable internet. Everyone thought it was so nice of me to move in and help my grieving grandmother transition into life without my grandfather. But of course, I had other motives. They're there.
Now, if you could fuck
off. Have you got any cake?
There's some cake in the kitchen. Could you bring it in here?
Granddad used to love cake. Do you remember Granddad, Granny?
No, not just that. It's just that the cake's in the kitchen. Granddad always used to bring me the cake.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to get up.
Oh, do you remember Granddad?
Oh, bloody hell. I feel better now. You can move home.
Granddad. Because
It's like 9/11 to America.
Because every time she won't do what she
Exactly.
wants. Because of my grandmother's meanness, no one else had stepped forward to do it. And my parents helped me move in. You moved in to get cable internet. I will live with you, horrible person. For one reason only. I was one step closer to playing World of Warcraft. I was very excited to get on with my undead priest. Wow. Back when I first started playing WoW, I had no idea there were even different server types, and I had accidentally joined an RP server. Your life, sir. Success. I was a fan of RPGs like Diablo 2, but I had never even played a single session of Dirt and Dirt before. I had finally made it out of the starting zone. After killing my way past Pumpkin Field and a few dozen more zombomblers, I had arrived in Brill. I was so excited to see more of the undead architecture, and the fact that it was a small undead village was so amazeballs. I had really hoped to find Sylvanas there, confusing Brill with the Undercity. You know he's there.
Is that Max?
He knocks like the devil, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's creepy as balls.
I can hear him dragging his scythe across the kitchen floor.
While looking for Sylvanas in Brill, I was whispered by an older-looking undead warlock on a mount, with his jaw half missing. Something about him creeped me out, and I should have listened to my gut instincts, but I did not. He was much higher level of me, and he called me into the stables to show me where I could buy a mount. He pointed me to the horse and showed me around for a bit, asking if I was a fresh member of the Forsaken ORP servers. Are you fresh from the grave? Fresh. So happy I can't understand you. I've got no jaw, so I have to be like this. I told him yes, and I was really enjoying myself. He then whispered me and told me to talk in character.
What a twat!
I asked him about mounts, and he told me to stand in the stables and then to use emotes. I had no idea what an emote was. So he said, stand behind the horse and type /point over and over again. So I did. It was strange that he kept telling me to do it, but I did. I was looking at my keyboard and typing out /point that I didn't notice that my character was in fact fisting the horse in game. This doesn't seem to be working.
What's going on?
I was repeatedly fisting the undead horse's ass over and over again. I yelled at him, "What the fuck, dude?" And the warlock replied in whisper brackets to stay in character. Whoa, don't break character.
Keep fisting, Rusty.
Listen, horse fister. I was feeling gross about it when the warlock asked me to continue. Stay in character. Continue.
It's the fact that it's already me. Listen, horse fister.
You're ruining my immersion. Now fist the horse. Fist it. Oh yeah. How does it feel? Is it warm in there?
Now twist the arm.
I logged off WoW immediately and didn't play for a couple of months. You moved into your grandma's house, who's a horrible person. Your family must hate you because they legit just straight up kicked you out. Can I move out? Yeah. They were like, see you later. You got the game, you got cable internet, you fisted a horse and then logged out for 2 months.
After that, I imagine that scene in Ace Ventura where he finds out that Einhorn's a man. Burns his clothes and just cries in the shower.
That would end my game if I just logged in and was fisting a horse. I'm like, this isn't the game for me.
I'm not having fun at all.
But wait, something's tingling. I'm strangely aroused.
You've awoken something.
It's like some bad fanfiction. What I didn't expect was the tingling in my nuts. And I couldn't stop. /point. Chapter 2 then. I started playing again when I moved into my own house and purchased the Burning Crusade. This time I avoided the undead starting zone altogether. I'm not going near there again. Bad memories, traumatised. I rolled a Tauren Druid, who I still main to this day. My cousins and their friends from high school at the time were very into raiding and promised to get me into their raid group. I worked my way through content as fast as I could. One of my friends even bought gold to get me a mount at level 40. I friggin' loved that Kodo. Kodos used to be my favourite mount.
Why?
Back in the day, where there was less choice, there were like the big beefy ones with bass in the
Well, they
step.
looked awful.
Yeah, I like them.
Shit. Even today.
What was your best vanilla mount?
Well,
Can't have the paladin mount.
That's a vanilla mount though.
I know, but it's so unique. Standard mount.
regular, it was the Night Elf, and epic, it was the
Oh, the
human
cat.
horse.
I'll go with the cat, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, well played. Well played. I was Horde, though, so the Kodo was for me. My Tauren on an undead horse.
The undead suck.
No one needs to see that.
No one needs to see.
No one needs to see a Tauren on an undead horse. I leveled as Resto. It makes me laugh more than fisting a horse. Because it takes months to level back then. Like, this is shit. Pressing Wrath over and over again. But I was determined. My cousins had promised me they would level characters with me, telling me if I go Resto, we could do instances.
Sucker.
What a fucking basic bitch.
I know, right?
By the time I'd logged in, they had gone without me and were leveling way ahead.
Oh, so good.
It's so stupid. Gonna do an instance. Wrath. Surprisingly enough, my cousins did eventually get me into a Kara raid. I thought it was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen, and it probably was. The play encounter was especially awesome to me. Romeo and Juliet, son. I even got an octopus on a staff for my feral stat. I healed arenas with my cousins and healed Karazhan with their guild for the rest of the expansion. At the time, I didn't even know there were more raids than Kara.
Whoa.
Don't tell him.
Shut up.
Shut up! Otherwise he might start raiding properly. PvP on that one raid was enough for me. Wrath of the Lich King. When Wrath is where I started to raid more than PvP, my cousins and I were mainly nighttime gamers. I got a job working third shift at a group home taking care of people who were developmentally disabled. My manager had told me at home that we could do whatever we needed to stay awake on third shift, including games, movies, whatever. So every night I brought in my full computer setup, including a hefty 24-inch CRT monitor, to work? What the fuck? How heavy is a 24-inch CRT monitor?
Very.
Jesus! Being third shift guild, we all played very late at night and had a very difficult time finding people to raid with. Until one night, while throwing LFM Nax 10 out in trade chat, we got a reply. 5 members were ready to join us on our Nax run. It was like a match made in heaven. Rasty, the hunter, was the one to speak, as he was the one who could speak English. Uh-oh. He said he had 4 friends that would like to join us. We already had 5, so we were ready to go. We flew through Nax and down at least 3 wings in the short time we played. Raiding had never been more fun. Rasty had let us know the next day that him and his friends were a group of friends who lived in Indonesia that had always wanted to play during the day of their time, but could rarely find a group. So my cousins, high school friend and I joined with Team Indonesia to make a new guild. We raided flawlessly until Ulduar for the first tier, and they wanted to go 25 man. At this time, my PC, with its 24-inch CRT monitor, could not handle 25-man raiding.
Oh my
God. Ulduar's an odd time to still have a CRT monitor, isn't it, I think?
Yes.
That's a bit...
Absolutely.
That's a little bit pipe playing, jug playing, right? I saw a documentary where a professional League of Legends player still played on a CRT monitor.
Why?
Did you see that?
No.
He was like a proper pro, and he played on like you know them desks that are just a keyboard.
Yeah.
And a CRT monitor with his mouse like up on the thing. League of Legends, mate.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe he wasn't a very good professional, so he didn't win any money. But he was still a professional. So that was the thing.
Maybe he's just awkward.
Maybe he just doesn't want to break out those $50 for a flat screen or whatever, for a basic flat screen. Okay, so I took a bench like a man. No one wanted to do 10 man anymore, so I saved up my pennies and stopped paying bills to buy a laptop. Good plan. A laptop, eh? My raid leader plays on a laptop. I believe it's a Dell Inspiron. Now, what's funny about this
It's nothing.
is that towards the end of a raid night, his laptop is whirring so hard that you can hear it when he speaks going, but he can't because of his headphones. It's hilarious.
Oh, is this actually a true story?
This is true story.
Oh, I
It's
thought it was ad-libbing
no,
because
this
of
is my
this.
Stark raid leader. Well funny. It's well funny. To be fair, he plays just fine, but it's dying every night, that laptop. It's so funny. It's so funny. He took his headphones off and he went, it is loud, isn't it?
No, I can hardly hear it.
It's so fucking good. It well makes me laugh. I came back sometime right before Trial of the Crusader. My laptop arrived. I was back in game and didn't have to bring a CRT monitor with me to work every night. Oh, a laptop makes total sense because he goes to work with it. Forgiven.
Allow it.
Rasty had told me that if I were to go feral for the raid, he would let me have a spot in the group and would gear me up if I was dedicated enough. I agreed and flew up the mountain to Ulduar. It was like that raid was made just for me. I was getting drops left and right, and by the end of the raid I was almost completely geared. I had obtained the look of a rogue tier gear with the awesome shoulders that flicked blades outwards, and with the helm that looked like great on something smaller. But on my Tauren, my gear looked like a walking fucking nightmare. And after that raid, I decided that this gear wasn't for me, and I don't like feral, so I took all the gear, but I told Rasty that I was not going to play anymore. Rasty G-kicked me immediately. But I see what you did, but my transmog is poor, so I'm done with this raid. And that was the end of that. Now, you were going to comment, I assume, about that tier set.
The positive comment on the headpiece for that tier, which is globally known as the sad penis helm.
Here's the alien head, right?
It's the one with the the sad penis
The
helm.
sad penis helm.
Yeah. It is literally like a very grumpy penis with a foreskin collar. It's like Kojak on a bad day.
I can't imagine bringing a trial who goes, this armour just looks terrible. I'm done.
I can't imagine.
Especially a druid who's in cat form. You don't even have to look at your gear. That's the sad thing. You don't even look at your gear. You're a druid. Jesus Christ. 6 months into ICC, though, Rasty and his friends still needed me. Nobody needs a feral druid.
No.
Living in Indonesia, they weren't able to purchase game time. Every month, Rasty and friends would give us gold in exchange for game time. Oh, it's a financial arrangement. I like it. It was a really great deal, and it made us feeling like we were really helping our small friends. Genzi, one of the Indonesians, had grown tired of WoW, however, and had a very large rent he needed to take care of. Don't like this. Genzi had 2 characters I was interested in. I said, I'll buy your account in exchange for a pretty large sum of money, thinking we could help each other out. I scrimped and saved and avoided the bills to get $300 dues to wire the money to Indonesia.
You fucking sucker.
I could do something, but I fear, no, it would be incredibly racist. So I won't. But it would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
So take that with a pinch of salt. I don't want to get social justice worries. It wasn't easy or cheap, but of course, Genzi did confirm payment was over there and thanked me a few hours before logging off and giving me the password to take over his warrior and pally. I felt like I was doing a great thing for my friend and helping me get back into the game. Logging into a fully geared character the first time in my WoW career was exciting. I had agreed to take Genzi's spot in their raid and use his character. I studied up and hit the train dummies learning how to ret in Wrath of the Lich King.
You need an add-on and then just look at it. Don't even look at the boss.
Doing ICC for the first time, I was smashing the deeps, wrecking enemies with my storm. All the undead in the instance were vulnerable to exorcism, and I felt like a killing machine. Did it still work that way back then? Did exorcism do bonus stuff to undead? Did it really? You were ret back then, weren't you?
Yes.
Except until you were blood.
No, it was. I started off as blood in Wrath. At the end of it, I was ret, but healing and taking ret gear.
Nice. That is, of course, until I was kicked to the main menu. I tried to log in but got the message, go fuck yourself. Gen Z had taken the $300 and his character back and blocked me in game. I whispered off my main account, Rasty, what the hell is going on? And I said, very sorry. And he would... I can't help it. Very sorry. You want some shitty cheeky?
Wow.
He said he was very sorry. And he would talk. He would talk to Gen Z. That was the last I ever heard from Rasty. I like that. Definitely go sort it out. Ignore.
Yeah.
Ignore. I lost my entire will to play. I couldn't complain to a GM because I bought an account. Yep. And I went back to my old love, Counter-Strike and Diablo 2. I played WoW on and off since Kata. The game never really captures the excitement I had raiding Karazhan and Nax for the first time. I haven't purchased any more WoW accounts, and I haven't heard from my old Indonesian friends since the day the arse hat Gen Z ripped me off. They all ripped you off.
It was a...
You literally just paid that guy's rent.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
He's doing that elsewhere now.
Yeah, you just paid his rent in Indonesia. Which is, I don't know. I figured if he was that desperate for swag money, and he needed it more than me anyway.
Don't try and take a...
You're okay with it? With being robbed? You're okay with it? You're like, probably needed it. Thieves.
Yeah. Thieves.
Pranksters. Took it.
Probably got a gold fucking grill, mate, out of it.
Gold grill. I need some more ink. I do have more drama stories throughout Kata and Mott, but I'll save those for maybe another time. I hope you guys and gals enjoyed my story. I like that you're happy about how it ended.
I like your... Yeah, the tone on that is the fact that you took the higher ground. I could never do that. I could never do that. I would kill every Indonesian person that I could see until I was quite confident
We
that
had
I
a
killed
couple
that
of
person.
bastards today, didn't we?
That guy was a cool guy. The first guy, oh my god! I was thinking if I punched my monitor hard enough, if he was reading the drama story or he was watching, that maybe that some spiritual focus would, accumulate a fist on his end of the screen and just let me smack him right in the face.
You'd probably just break your screen, but you could try.
I know.
You could try.
Can I try it on yours?
No.
Okay. Well, it's worth a shot.
You
It
could
was
try it on
worth a
yours.
shot.
Try on yours. That brings us to the end of Drama Friday for this week. Now, of course, it's the web show tomorrow where things will get a little bit more explicit. In fact, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 lady-written stories.
And
how that goes.
a woman's deodorant.
Yeah. Not mine, though. Because a woman lives here. Now, before the end of the show, though, I do want to... Do you remember a while back a story where you made up the entire ending that was Inspector Gadget style, and we had the two people, and we played multiple characters, and a guy ended up playing WoW in his garden, and someone died, and the mother died. Do you remember this entire situation?
The one where the mother was the arsehole.
Yes.
Yes.
The guy didn't watch the drama we did, but he has now, and he recently got back in contact with us with evidence of him playing his WoW in his garden, and there it is. Now that's a blast from the past, is it not?
Whoa.
I know, I got the email last week and he was like, I didn't get a chance to watch it, Preacher, but I just found it and had a blast watching it. That was an epic drama story.
I just want to point out there is a phrase there that I'd love to get tattooed, engraved into my tombstone, and that is, anything is a dildo if you're brave enough.
I've seen the video. We will see you tomorrow, ladies and gents, if you're not going to be with us for the web show.
Why are you even here, you loser?
Have a good weekend. But other than that, I will see you again. See you later, guys. Bye-bye!